Welcome to Red35, and today we are looking at one of the most valuable for money lenses on the Olympus lineup, the M.Zuiko 25mm f1.8 premium lens. First, I would like to talk about the importance of 25mm in a micro four third well, and it's actually equivalent to the 50mm in a full frame terms. And why is it important? Because this is how most human beings see things, in terms of perspective and compression. Value for money, this is the thing about this particular lens, because it's plastic fantastic. So this is the build quality. Having said that, it's very well put together. There's no rattles there. It's feels solid enough to to be labeled as a premium lens. It does have a metal mount, so it's actually very, very nice. It's not fully plastic, so to speak. The ring does have a very good resistance for manual focusing, but it hasn't got the famous manual clutch. That means you cannot actually enable the manual focus on the fly. You have to access via the menu, which is not a very good thing for my purpose, because I use manual focus quite a lot for videoing and also sometimes in street shooting. So this is more or less a pure autofocus lens, so to speak. Yeah, but otherwise the build quality is quite nice and decent for a plastic lens. So how does this lens actually handle? Well, in line with most premium lenses that I have used and reviewed so far, it's pretty good because of the size. And look at this thing, compared to the likes of the 12mm and also the 70mm, this is actually comparable in terms of size and weight-wise. And being a plastic lens, I know it has its downside, doesn't feel as premium as the other metal-built lenses, but it does come in the advantage of being lighter weight, which means that it's actually pretty good. And coupled with the Pen F or any other camera bodies, you will actually find it quite easy to handle when you're shooting as well. It's not going to be very tiring just because of the weight and also the size. So you got the central gravity definitely towards the back of the camera. So when you hold it, it's not going to be front heavy. So in photography terms, it's always a good thing. For about a third of the price for the workhorse lens that I love so much, the 25mm f1.2 Pro, you would expect that the image quality will be a bit shite. No, actually, it's actually pretty decent indeed. And for the price, it's definitely one of the best performers out there. And with the 1.8 aperture, you can easily kind of defocus the area, so you can make your subject pop a little bit in the photo and do a little bit of low light shooting as well. Okay, it may not have the weather sealing like the Pro lenses, but it's definitely one hell of a performer. If you want bokeh, let me give you lots and lots of bokeh. Yeah. Being a premium lens, you would expect premium performances out of this thing, and you are quite right there. The sharpness is very good. I think it's pretty decent for 1.8 lens, and you can't really expect to the same level as the Pro lenses, but it's actually quite nice there. The bokeh, if you're into that sort of thing, is also quite nice. And again, it's not as creamy because it hasn't got that famous feather bokeh that associating with all the Pro lenses out there at the moment. But still decent. You can pop the subject out quite easily, shooting 1.8 and going a little bit closer. But one thing I actually do admire this lens is it hasn't got any distortion or chromatic aberrations. There's no purple fringing anywhere. You know, if you shoot bright contrast situation like today, we're shooting against the white subjects and things like that, there's nothing going on. It's pretty sharp and decent and very solid. So it's a very, very decent performer. Whenever people come up to me and ask me what lenses they should get when they first start in photography, and I would always suggest them to get a standard prime. And the reason is because, you know, there are many reasons for it. First of all, the standard lens focal length 25 in micro four thirds or 50 in the full frame terms is that, you know, it's very natural to the eye. You know, you get the very natural perspective and also the compression. You know, people always think, you know, I should get a wide angle lens or get the tele lens. That actually will confuse them because, you know, wide angle lens definitely got this, you know, very wrong perspective when you actually look at things, and also when you use the tele lens, the compression is so different to human eyes. So, you know, you really want something that's very natural before you venture into those kind of more specialist area. And getting a zoom lens is good, but it will get you lazy in terms of composition. So get a fixed focal length, 25mm prime lens will actually get you started qual and train your eyes and your body. Would I recommend the M.Zuiko 25mm f1.8 premium lens? And a short answer is definitely a yes. If you are serious about photography, that is. The reason I'm saying that is because prime lenses is not for everyone, and you know, I asked a lot of my friends before. You know, many still prefer using zoom lenses. You know, most of them are amateurs or also like enthusiasts. I think they just prefer the convenience of having the zoom lens without having to, you know, use their legs. But for me, I mean, I trained as a photographer, and I always suggest them to basically do the hard way first before you go for the convenience, and that's why I always think, you know, a prime lens is good. And also, you know, most prime lenses are definitely faster in terms of aperture wise compared to zoom lenses. You know, in this case 1.8 against most of the pro zoom lenses, they are mostly 2.8. Kit lenses are even worse, they're like 3.5, 5.6. So 1.8 will give you a lot of flexibility as well. That is one of the reasons you should get one of these things. You know, it's just so good. You know, if you haven't tried one, get one and try it yourself and you see. I hope you enjoyed the video you just saw, and remember to click the subscribe button if you like it, and turn on the notification by clicking the bell button there so you stay notified when we have a new video coming out. So until next time, see you then, bye! Welcome to Red35, and today we are going to look at one of the best value for money lenses on the Olympus. One of the most value for money lenses on the Olympus lineup, the M.Zuiko. This Tower Bridge, I may have around, I don't know, 3,000 shots of the same spot in different weather conditions, different lighting. Yeah, same background but different subjects. It's kind of my photo booth here. 25mm in micro four thirds or 50mm if you are. What? Does it look dodgy?
A little bit, yeah. Very dodgy.
Someone just wee. We got a diver there. I just dropped my 50 Pro lens in there. They're getting it for me now. No. One more. A standard lens, it must, you know, and I think, you know, without what?
Standard lens, it must.
Doesn't make sense.
That is Yoda.
I'm Yoda.
I'm Yoda.
Clicking the bell button there so you stay notified when we have a new video. I'm hungry.